Hey guys, this is XRP Megalodon reporting for duty. We have here the one and only digital asset guy. I know we bumped into each other here at the XRP Las Vegas this past, what is it, 2 May. So if you want to go ahead and tell them who you are, what you're about, and what we do.
All right. Well, I am the digital asset guy. I want to first give a disclosure. I always have to do this because you never know today, but nothing I say on this recording is financial or investment advice. So, what I actually do as the digital asset guy is I help people learn about cryptocurrency, digital assets, blockchain. I don't ever give financial or investment advice, but I help people learn the basics. I help them set up wallets. I help them get connected with exchanges. I help with security on their devices that they use to interact with the blockchain and crypto and things like that. So, no financial or investment advice here. So, those are the
Most
rules.
yeah. And Digital Asset Guy does have his YouTube channel. If you guys want to follow him, give him, watch his videos. He has pretty funny ones, and he has ones where his experience from Las Vegas event that we just had previously. Do you want to talk about what your experience was in the Las Vegas meet?
Sure. So XRP Las Vegas 2025. This was my first um, XRP Las Vegas ever. I wish that I would have went earlier. It kind of didn't occur to me. I thought, that's for, the heavy hitters, the YouTubers who, have, hundreds of thousands of subscribers or something. But in this past market cycle, like even last year in 2024, with the success that I sort of uh, fell into and kind of realized, I realized, I just get on X and interact with people and watch YouTube videos. I need to go in real life and meet some of my XRP family. I just have to get out there, with what a big part of my life this is. So I went. It shocked my nervous system. I am not lying when I say I basically didn't sleep for like 3 nights. I just couldn't. I was just so excited and was hanging out with people till late, the wee hours of the morning. And then I wanted to get up and get over there right at the crack of dawn to try to go catch Brad Garlinghouse or David Schwartz, if I heard they were going to be there in the morning. They still were swamped. But anyway, I didn't get a lot of sleep, and I'm a pretty tough guy, but I cried a lot of tears of joy, and it was just a shock to my nervous system to be around so many people like me in our XRP family, and like you, of course.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
The pleasure to meet you. That was one of the highlights, was meeting XRP
No,
Megalodon.
no, no. So I mean, getting to meet everyone was awesome. I mean, it's just a new environment. When you get to meet people with the same mindset that you have, the same vision, it's just amazing to see all these people. I wanted to see more a younger crowd, but apparently, I mean, we fell into. I think the average was older gentlemen and ladies out there.
Yeah.
Do you want to elaborate on the parties, the scene, the whole entertainment, or what it felt like to you?
Oh man, sure. It, you know, the well, the after party, for example, it was just so incredible to be in a room. I mean, when we're in the actual conference, it's a little overwhelming because you got the big boys, the big speakers on the main stage. You've got like the little stages where people are getting interviewed, like I was with Bree Teresi, and so it's a little overwhelming. So then when you go into the after party and it's just a hang, it's so incredible to just be able to interact with people like us and meet people that you've never seen in real life, and really get to unwind, really hear some of the real talk about what's going on with this cryptocurrency and the community and Ripple, and there's people who work at Ripple. The after party was just absolutely phenomenal. I mean, I wish Brad Garlinghouse and David Schwartz and Stuart Alderati would have been there having a glass of wine or something with us, but they're busy guys. But the hang in general was really valuable, and the friendships made. I think we met at the after party. Is that
We
right? Or
did. We did meet at the after party. I know you were being interviewed by Bree and Eleanor. I know you did interview Eleanor. I saw your video on YouTube, and I know you also interviewed the AI. How the emotions going through you? Like what? Wait, let's follow back up to the first interview that you received from Bree. What were you feeling? What was it like?
oh man, it was. It was a little nerve-wracking at the beginning. I'll tell you, I saw Bree. Well, I posted on X like a month before the conference. Like I can't wait to meet everyone, and I tagged a bunch of heavy hitter XRP family members, and I tagged Bree in that, and she responded and said, "See you soon," with like some hard eyes, with a smiley, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's like Bree Teresi," and my friends are saying, "Oh come on, man, it's a bot, it's not really her," and I click on it, I'm like, "No, it says the million." Followers or whatever. And so she said, "See you soon." So I go into the conference, and in the first 10 minutes, I see her. We're all coming in. We'd all been standing in line. And so I go up. I'm trying to not be too much of a fanboy, and I say, "You're Bree Teresi, right?" And she says, "Oh, and you are a digital asset guy. I want to get your interview out of the way so it doesn't get away from us." And she's getting her microphone out, and her mom is her assistant. And I'm like, wow, okay. And so she takes me over to the banner with the XRP and Ripple and Uphold. She says, "Let's go ahead. I'm going to ask you about this, this, and this. And you ready?" And I'm like, "Okay." And people are still coming in to the conference for the first time, and I'm kind of taking it all in. So we get started, and she like fixes her hair and she gets all ready. She says, "Here we go." And so I it was an unbelievable thing that happened. I'll never forget. Right as we were about to start, I just happened to glance out, and people are approaching the area we were at, and they're kind of walking up saying like, "Oh, who's getting interviewed?" For the first time ever in real life, I see digital asset investor walk over, and I'm like, that's him. That's my hero, my crypto father. He comes up and he's kind of looking like, "Who's being interviewed?" And I'm like, "This is amazing." I see John Deaton walk by real fast, like he's getting ready to kick somebody's butt in court, or something. And I'm like, "John Deaton." And then I see I think I saw yeah, I think I saw Eleanor Tourette walk by. I'm like, there's one of my favorite crypto reporter. Everybody's here. And I saw XRP 007, who I interviewed later. And so
Yeah.
this all happened like within a couple seconds. And so you can see in the interview, Bree says, "How are you doing?" And I'm like blinking, and it was because it was just too much too soon, and I was out of it for like 5 seconds. I think I almost passed out just to taking it all in at that second. So
It
I was
starts. Yeah.
nervous, but it was incredible, and I got it together. I told myself, wake up. This is what we've dreamed about for 7 years, and wake up and answer the questions. It was amazing. Yeah, you can see my Bree Teresi interview on my YouTube channel.
Yeah, yeah. I know I saw Eleanor. You interviewed Eleanor, right? Tourette,
Yeah. Yeah,
right?
I actually interviewed her. She came off the stage with John Deaton, and I just got out of an uphold session where I was invited. They gave me this cool book where I was invited to do a private session with them. So I'm walking out of that. We're in the lobby of the MGM, and Eleanor just comes walking by. So I just couldn't help myself. I said, you're Eleanor Terrett, right?" And she says, "Oh, I most certainly am." And I said, "Could I please, is there any way I could interview you for a change? I've watched all your interviews. I've seen thousands of your posts and you reporting." She couldn't have been nicer. I interview her, and I was just taking the video for me personally, just, to be a
Yeah.
fanboy. And then she says, "Make sure you post it on X, and I'll try to find it in the madness. Tag me in it, and I'll try to get some eyes on it for you." And I was like, "Really?" And she did. That thing got like 50,000 views, 1,000 likes, like 100 comments. It was funny. People started commenting on if we were flirting or not and saying things like cute couple. And some people were like, this guy's creepy. Other people were like, no, he's charming. And it got all this banter going and it blew up and it was just really, really awesome. It was really exciting.
Yeah, that's awesome. And especially when you get to interview, people that you've been following for a certain amount of time. It's like, I remember just seeing DAI being there and just like, wow, like I've been following this guy for so long. Like now I'm able to see him, I'm able to interact with him. How was your interaction with him? Like, what was your experience? Like, what did you feel at that time, knowing that, that's somebody that we look up to more than anything?
I'll tell you, it was really surreal. That was shortly after my Eleanor or my Bree Teresi interview. I walk up, and of course, he's talking to some other folks. I kind of wait my turn, and he's a big guy, he's tall,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
little bit intimidating because I knew he was busy, and I don't want to like, bother him because there's so many people waiting. But I went up and I said, you've been like a second father to me, and it's just so surreal to meet you. And so I asked him if I could take a little video to capture the moment. He couldn't have been nicer. He's just as sincere as he is in his videos. And so you can actually see that video on my YouTube channel. But I had to fight back some tears of joy. It was very emotional. He's really has been like a second father to me. There were times in the bear market even before the lawsuit where I had doubts. His channel got me through. Waking up, getting my coffee, and hearing him say, sometimes you got to put on your big boy pants in life,
Yeah.
and those are the things that got me through. And then in the lawsuit, I was pretty discouraged. People were making fun of me, like, oh, see, the government sued it, it's over. And I had some doubts. And I remember one particular video digital asset investor made. He basically he was getting a lot of, negative feedback where people were almost blaming him. And he said, you know what, folks, this is something that needed to happen so that XRP can have a shot at getting legal clarity.
Oh
And
yeah.
that's exactly what happened. So it's things like that that were just so powerful to me. I know I'm getting a little off track, but
No, 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 no. You're fine. You're fine.
meeting him was just, it was so surreal and just, it was emotional for me. But I held the tears back, real hard because I thought if I start crying with this guy, he might be like, come on, man, you got to pull up, put your big boy pants on or something, make a joke.
Uh, uh,
But it was amazing.
I mean, what brought you to the XRP community? What is it that pulled you instead of seeing Bitcoin and Ethereum at this time? Ethereum and Bitcoin were the ones projecting more of gains than XRP was.
Oh, absolutely. When you really get into the weeds on this stuff and you really do your homework, and you actually have experience sending the currency and using the utility, that's where the real game changer is. I started out mining Ethereum. I was in Ethereum before I even knew what Bitcoin was. One of my closest friends, college roommate, we started out mining Ethereum. He was mining, he's a technical guy, he was the CTO. I fell into the CEO uh, title because he was mining in our college apartment. I was like making fun of him. I was like, what are you doing? This computer's getting like all hot and making noise. He says, I'm mining Ethereum. I was like, well, what does that mean? He says, it's getting me money. I said, oh, well, I want to do it too. And we're in college. It makes me cringe when I think back to we were like selling Ethereum at 20 bucks a coin, to buy silly stuff. And we got hacked. But anyway, that's what got me in was mining Ethereum. And then I didn't even know about Bitcoin until I saw John McAfee on like Good Morning America or CNN.
Yeah.
I'll never forget generically just seeing it come on TV and John McAfee. I just adored the way that he spoke on TV and everything. He's a little on the interesting side, but I'll remember, I'll never forget they were questioning him on one of the major news networks, and they said, "Well, what is it that gives this website or whatever it is value, they really didn't know what they were talking about. This was like 2016 or maybe, yeah, I think it was 2016. And, he was saying, well, a Bitcoin will only go up in value as more people use the network. And it is an impossibility for it to come down because there are people like me who will never sell. And I just remember him being so confident. I asked my friend who we were doing the mining, I was doing the mining with, I said, is this what we're doing with our miner over here? He says, oh, that's Bitcoin. It's too expensive to mine. But so I was in ETH first. There were more gains in ETH. We went into the 2017 bull run. I remember in 2016, I said, wouldn't it be awesome if Ethereum broke $100 a coin? My friend said, yeah, that'd be awesome. Fingers crossed. It smashed 1,200 a coin in 2017, and it changed my life and his, not just financially, but it was like a mental switch. So
Right.
I had every reason to be an Ethereum maximalist because I made the most gains. But long story short, I found Digital Asset Investors channel. I did some research. I thought it was the banker's coin. I believed it was centralized. I believed it wasn't a real cryptocurrency. And then I started doing my research and I'm like, okay, there's a company, Ripple. They use XRP commercially, kind of like how Uber uses people's cars, but Uber doesn't own the cars. They use it as a tool to carry out their business model. So when I separated Ripple from XRP, it kind of made more sense. And Digital Asset Investor was the first one to really explain it in plain English. And then when I sent my first XRP from like the original Binance, I had to trade some ETH or Bitcoin for it. I sent it to my wallet. I didn't realize that it actually went in 2 seconds because I'd never seen a cryptocurrency move that fast. And then I click over to my wallet tab and I'm like, when's this thing going to come? I just didn't realize it was already there. It literally went faster than I had clicked onto my wallet tab. And when I saw that XRP was in there instantly, I was like, this doesn't make sense. How does nobody know about this? This is insane.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, and that's when I connected the dots. Sorry, it's all of my answers are long-winded. Sorry.
No, 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 that's fine. I mean, the more info we get, the better we know you, who you are, what you bring to the table, right? Um, so is there anybody else that you followed? I know from the beginning of times, and it sounds funny to me because the beginning of time sounds hilarious.
Well, you know
But
what I tell people all the time? I say, back in my day,
right.
they'll call me and go, "Oh no, digital asset guy, the market's down or whatever. I'm scared." I say, "People, back in my day in
Right.
2017 and 18, we had crashes where it was like a half in a day, back in my
Yeah.
day."
Oh, yeah. Most definitely. Most definitely. I remember seeing Alex Cobb. I don't know if you've ever followed him. Yeah, Alex Cobb, CNK or CKJ. That's what it is. I know they pranked this guy. I think this is when Ripple was doing a conference down in Singapore, and they did this whole mess to him. A lot of people found it funny that he went to. Did you hear about that?
Well, yeah, the Ripple Swell conference in
Right.
Singapore. I didn't know that he actually went.
Yeah, I guess that somebody sent him a fake invitation, and he ended up going, and yeah, the whole thing.
I,
So they left
I
him
had
to
never
go.
heard that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, so I followed him, and he was like the second person that I was following that I was listening to that was giving good feed, and I was like, man, this is awesome. This is, and then I started just accumulating like a whole bunch of information from them, from here, from there, and doing my own research, and that's how I started getting into XRP. What are you looking for out of this whole community? Like, what is it that you're seeing? Like, what do you expect to happen with XRP down the future, down the road?
Down the road, I expect to see I expect to see XRP be utilized for its utility more and more and more. like Brad Garlinghouse said, they are taking over Swift. I expect to see XRP utilized, and everybody wants to ask, where do you think the price is going? To be honest, if Ripple takes over Swift, that's that's going to be huge. Nobody knows where the price could go, even if Ripple were to take over like 10% of Swift, the multi-trillion dollars, there's only 4 trillion in the whole crypto market cap right now. If Ripple itself takes over even 10% of the Swift's networks market, I mean, there's just no telling where it will go. If the average person finds out about this coin and how it can be utilized, if they realize I don't have to be paid bi-weekly from my boss, I don't have to send a check in the mail. I mean, you already don't have to, but I don't have to send a payment that takes 2 to 5 business days, sometimes even longer than that, to buy something. With XRP, if they realize you could be paid by the minute, literally, from your job, like the amount of work you do, it could be on a smart contract, or not even, wouldn't even have to be a smart contract, but just, it could be worked out where XRP is sent as you work, or you clock in, clock out. You can pay your utility bills based as you use it. When they realize the utility, I don't think anybody knows where it could go.
Definitely, definitely. Another question for you would be is, for example, I know we've talked about the people that you follow, the people that you've seen at the XRP Las Vegas. What do you think about the account with Bearable Guy 123? He has 2 accounts if I'm not correct, right? He has 321. What is it? Viable Bear or something like that? Or
Well, there's the bearable bull. I love the bearable bull.
Bearable, yeah.
He's
I
another
follow him as
YouTuber.
well.
But yeah, there's Bearable Guy 123, and then there's another Bearable account. I can't remember exactly, but I don't know. I kind of think the Bearable Guy 123 is the main one. I was very skeptical at the beginning when I saw the riddles and things, but when you break down the information that he put in those riddles and with what actually happened and some of the dates that really, really important events happened on with the lawsuit, I think it's pretty clear that Bearable Guy is somebody who knows what's going on, who's on the inside of the top circle. I think it's really interesting if you go back and watch Brad Garlinghouse talk about when he was the CEO. I think it was Yahoo or AOL. You can watch. Of course, I tried to find the video the other day. I couldn't find it on YouTube. There's a video where it shows him in his office when he was the CEO back, I think it was maybe in the 90s or the early 2000s. It shows he has cartoon illustrations on his wall that he did. In the penmanship, it looks really put me in mind of Bearable Guy 123. It's kind of interesting. I'm not saying it's Brad Garlinghouse, but maybe Brad Garlinghouse is involved. Um,
I know a lot of people have speculated it could have been Elon Musk too.
You know, that is that's very possible. I mean, some of the times when Bearable Guy posted on X things like the bear is proud to be with you today, they were events that Elon was at. You can
Right. Oh,
verify. So I could see that. And then I think it's super interesting how Elon never talks about XRP. There was the one interview where somebody directly asked him, and I thought it was very interesting how nervous he got. Did you happen to see that interview where
I
somebody
might have.
in
I might have.
Pittsburgh,
Uh, I don't
so
remember.
somebody in Pittsburgh,
Okay.
they just straight up asked him when he was like, had a microphone in his hand on stage. They were like, what do you think about XRP and how it could relate to the new financial system? And he got kind of nervous looking and, a lot of blinking. And he said something first of all, I'd like to say that this is not an endorsement for or against XRP in any way. I have no ties, and just the way he was talking was so interesting, and he was so nervous, and he was like, "It does have utility, but the new financial system will have many things involved." And he kind of dodged the question. I thought you didn't get a real app, so I'm just saying I think it could be. I think it's interesting how we got SpaceX, and then PayPal was named xpayment.com before it was PayPal. His son's name is X. He loves the letter X, and then he usually likes colors like black and white, and the font is even kind of similar to SpaceX. I think it's really, really interesting. I think Elon could be bearable guy.
Yeah.
Wouldn't surprise me, is all.
Shout out to Bearable Bull because I know we brought him up. We have we're not that we're getting them mixed up, but they're similar wordage. Yeah, and we just seen Arthur Brito come up with that tweet or that X comment that was. Or do you say tweet nowadays? Like, what is it that you call?
I still say tweet sometimes, but I guess it's just a post or something
Yeah, yeah.
nowadays.
So I know, right. So Arthur Brito did put that emoji with just the eyes. What do you think that entails? What comes to your mind?
So basically, yeah, he put the little face where it just had eyes and no mouth.
Mhm.
I think that it had everything to do with non-disclosure agreements, the thousands of non-disclosure agreements that basically came to an end. I mean, I don't know, but if I had to guess, that's what I think. I mean, it was so simple, just eyes with no mouth, almost like he was saying, I haven't been able to talk, or
Right.
something like that, or no comment. Usually when people say no comment, usually they have a comment.
Yeah. Have you been on X today at all?
Yeah, a little bit. Of course, my account got suspended after I didn't break any of the rules. I posted a YouTube
So I
video.
know we just have breaking news saying that 42 banks have blocked or are blocking Ripple's banking license. Have you heard of that?
I didn't hear an actual number being put on it, but that doesn't surprise me because I saw another article like a month ago saying that banks were urging the regulators to deny Ripple their banking license, and I can see why they would because that would be really scary to the traditional finance banks. So it doesn't surprise me, and it makes great news.
Yeah, no, man. Like, and it just tells everybody how hard and aggressive Ripple's coming towards the whole economy.
I mean, Ripple has been so open and transparent. I think it's going to be the most hated rise from the ashes ever. I mean, Ripple, they had on their website, our goal is to make XRP the the world's they said to make XRP a world reserve currency. Not the world reserve currency, but they've been pretty honest about it. People make fun of them, but I think we're seeing that happen now, and I think a lot of the people who were laughing are not laughing now.
Right. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So as we see all of this, we can see the potential XRP has. I think it just takes time, like Bearable Guy 1 2 3 again. There we go with Bearable Bull. Bearable Guy 1 2 3 said, perseverance. Perseverance is key. And I think.
Absolutely. I mean,
Mhm.
it's taken a lot of persistence. It's taken a lot of faith to stay in this ball game, and it's been tough on all of our lives. I'll admit, I think my life would be tremendously different if I was not in XRP. I mean, or crypto in general, but XRP has been the main journey, difficult journey. I might be. My life might be very different, maybe easier in some ways, but we've all been through a really tough time. It has not been easy, but I know that from what I've already seen, it has been worth it.
Right. Definitely. Definitely. And it's like, how long have you been in this industry now?
XRP since about 2012. 2017, so about 8 years.
89 years, yeah, going strong too. So that's and, it's we've been in the hard times and the good times. And do you feel like you'll be sticking here for a long time? Are you looking at this as long term or short term? Like, what's your outlook?
The rest of my life, as long as XRP exists, which I think will be as long as the internet exists. And you know, I went through a really, really tough year in 2024. I tried to go through a career transition in addition to being a cryptocurrency investor and educator. And I'm going to make a video on YouTube about it at some point. But basically, I had a really rough career transition that did not work out, and it left me unemployed for a time. And when I was unemployed, it put me in a very unique situation. It felt like the worst time of my entire life, but it put me in a place I needed to be in order to roll over my retirement tax-free out of my old retirement plan into one where I could invest in crypto, XRP. So I say all that to say I will be involved in XRP for as long as I have that retirement. So at least
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
65.
Yeah, most definitely, most definitely. What are you expecting, or what are you seeing for here in August? I know August 13 has been mentioned here quite frequently within, what is it, since like mid-July. Have
Yeah.
you heard anything?
I've heard that that's the date. A lot of high ups are saying the case will officially be on paper resolved between the SEC and Ripple. I'm not gonna say I believe it'll be on that date or anything. I think the case is already over, and I think they're gonna drop the news right at the right time, basically when alt season kicks off and we're in that part of the market cycle, excuse me, and maybe when XRP gets into price discovery, that's when I expect the news will be dropped. Because if I've learned anything in crypto, it's that the news follows the market, not the other way around. A lot of people who don't have experience in this market, they think the news makes the price movements happen, but I think it's actually the opposite. I think the news is following the market cycle.
Right, most definitely, most definitely. And I've heard, speculations of this SEC lawsuit be ending in December 15. And this is from Coach JV. Shout out to Coach JV. I know I follow him, and I've heard great stuff from him.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, he's phenomenal.
oh, did you end up seeing him at the Las Vegas?
I did. Yeah, I didn't get to talk with him. He was pretty swamped, but I did see him. And he's a phenomenal person, very inspiring. And yeah, I hate to say it, but our time is coming to an end here very soon. I don't know um, if it'll kick us off here. You would think the digital asset guy would have a upgraded Zoom account. To be honest, I haven't even ever paid for YouTube. I still watch the commercials, even though YouTube has been my life 8 hours a day. I just take a bathroom break on the commercials. I don't know why. I just don't upgrade these things. That's going to kick us off soon.
No, no, no. Yeah,
This
you're.
bull run, after this bull run, the digital asset guy will have enough money, hopefully, to upgrade to the premium account.
Yeah, yeah, we'll do that. We just need this last bull run to come through and help us out, to give us that push to get us going. Yeah, well, Digital Asset Guy, it was a pleasure talking to you, and we can continue to keep going through some of these podcasts, as I would call it.
Absolutely. I want to have you on mine definitely, and a lot of other people that we met at XRP Vegas. Maybe we could do a group session where we're kind of all talking and visiting as well. I've got a lot of different ideas.
Oh yeah, most definitely, most definitely. That sounds great. I'm looking forward to it. Is there anything that you would like to talk about before we log off? Or no, we only have a minute, so.
Are you coming to XRP Vegas 2026?
I am. I'm looking forward to it. I know I heard Brad Kimes and Digital Asset Investor talk about maybe selling tickets earlier than expected.
Oh,
So
there we go.
look forward to seeing you there as well.
I'm going to be all over that. And I just can't wait. I think it'll be an even better experience probably by that time. But no matter what's going on in the market, the XRP army is strong, and I know it'll be a great time again.
Yep, XRP family signing off here with Digital Asset Investor.
All right.
Talking to you
Or
later.
digital asset guy. Digital
Yeah,
investor.
yeah.
The fact that you get us mixed up, I take it as a compliment.
Oh man, it's just yeah. I mean, you have all these great people out here. It's
Yeah.
just my
Okay,
goodness,
it's about to kick us off, so I'm going to end our recording.
buddy.
All right. Thanks so much, XRP Megalodon.
Yeah, thank you. We'll keep in touch.
We will definitely.
I'll be